From Fox 15, News 15 Today starts now.
Good Friday morning and welcome back. You are watching News 15 Today. I'm Alex Horstel.
And I'm Carter Semino. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Well, let's go ahead and get a check on the weather with Storm Track 15 meteorologist Adam Olivier.
Yes, Adam, good morning.
There he is.
We saw some fog and it's clearing up a little bit, but what do we have in store for today?
Well, the good news is, as you mentioned, that fog is going away, Alex and Carter. We are seeing improving visibilities, and that is because our temperatures are starting to warm up, but also the good warm front that's down to our south, that was a cold front yesterday, well, it's starting to move northward, and it's going to bring in some warmer air for later on. So our visibility's on the rise. That's meaning better weather for us. Lots of sunshine out there right now, helping our temperatures to climb quickly. Some of us already in the mid-60s after that kind of chilly start. We'll continue to climb into the mid-60s. And then eventually the 70s show up. A warm day in store for us, but we're also going to be talking about how long that lasts in your forecast. We'll also mention about some rain chances. Those details coming up in a bit.
All right, thanks, Adam. We'll check back in just a few minutes. Well, a vaccination event will be held today for the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. This is by appointment only. The event is being held at Bayou Carlin Cove in Delcambre at 605 South Railroad Street. To sign up for a vaccine, go to oph4.timetap.com or call 337-262-5311.
Well, now to break down the latest COVID-19 case numbers for the state, LDH reporting 422,620 cases of the virus, with more than 378,000 of those cases confirmed. That number includes the nearly 20,000 cases coming from Lafayette Parish, which saw an increase of 23 cases since Wednesday.
And with the Louisiana Department of Health reporting both confirmed and probable cases, it could get confusing when trying to understand the COVID-19 case data. To explain, confirmed cases are instances when a person has tested positive for the coronavirus, whereas probable cases involve those who have not had a confirmatory test but have reached the clinical criteria of infection or has tested positive for an antigen test.
If you have more questions about the virus, you can call 211. That's the number to Louisiana's statewide network, which will update you on the latest information regarding the pandemic. You can also text LA COVID to 898-211.
Some who had prolonged effects from COVID-19 say they're experiencing an unexpected benefit from their coronavirus vaccine.
Specifically, some say they've seen symptom improvement, even relief. Mandy Gather reports.
For COVID-19 long haulers plagued with prolonged symptoms like fatigue and brain fog, it's been a long road. But for some, the coronavirus vaccines are helping.
I could focus, I could see, my sinuses cleared up. It was wonderful. And also the fatigue lifted.
Rebecca Neff says she suffered from continuous COVID-19 symptoms until getting a first dose of the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine.
The next day I woke up and my head was clear. I had not realized how foggy it was even on good days.
We were prepared for everything, except for this.
Diana Barrett is founder of the nonprofit Survivor Corps organization, a group of about 160,000 people that links COVID survivors with information. Barrett did an informal and unscientific poll of COVID-19 long haulers and their experience with the vaccine. Of the nearly 700 people who responded, she says 39% reported their symptoms improved after the vaccine.
Anywhere from, mild symptom improval to complete resolution of symptoms. That we can't say that about anything to date.
Barrett says not everyone had the same result. 46% of long haulers polled had no change in symptoms after the vaccine, and 15% said symptoms worsened. While more research is needed, some COVID long haulers have hope.
I still feel pretty good, and so in another 2 to 3 weeks, I will hopefully get the second one.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
More than a decade after the introduction of the HPV vaccine, infections have significantly declined. This, according to a new study from the CDC. It showed that between 2006 and 2018, HPV cases dropped by 88% among teenage girls and 81% among women in their early 20s. Experts say that suggests the vaccine provides indirect protection by reducing transmission of the virus in the population.
Looking at those temperatures out there right now, we're seeing those 60s across the region. A very cool start to the day, but that's going to turn into some warm temperatures later on. Does that stick around for your weekend? Details just ahead.
And it's crunch time for the Raging Cajuns baseball team as they prepare to take on Coastal Carolina tonight. Sunbelt play in action coming up.
News 15's Al Aber, if you didn't know, he is live this morning for Friday Feed at Crazy About Crawfish. Checking in with him one last time after the break. Stay with us.
Accept it because every state has their own hologram. Okay? Now, if you ever get one that looks like this, do you see the Louisiana's on here? You can just see it. You don't have to move it. Yeah. This is not good. Do not take one that you can just see it. It has to be moved to see it. Now,
What, 30 seconds?
Well, thanks for the warning, Lauren.
Well, that's what she meant by we're up next.
Well, okie dokie.
Love that sound, Alex, because it means it's
Me
Friday
too.
and
Miss
it's
it.
the Friday Feed. Al Aber is at one of my favorite restaurants this morning.
Crazy About Crawfish. We checked in with him just a couple minutes ago, and he was eating their bread pudding, and it looks like he finished it because it really is that good.
And about half of that Bloody Mary as well. Al, how was your morning?
We got some new menu items.
You know, I had to drink the Bloody Mary, Carter, because there's a bar card class going on behind me, and I'm just trying to get into it all. We were going to do this from table 12, but they've actually put plexiglass around it, Carter, because that was your table. And it's just like a little museum here, right?
It is.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Ready for him.
The Carter Semino table. We'll need a photograph of. Send that headshot over.
Yes.
Megan Buckner, amazing place. All you can eat crawfish coming up on Tuesdays.
Right.
What else do you have going on?
We have some new menu items. So we have a crawfish spinach bread bowl, right? So the Crawfish Festival hasn't happened in the past 2 years, and it was the most popular thing over there. So we decided to do it over here so that everybody could get their little fix that they need until it starts back up, which we cannot wait. And we also have some chicken sriracha egg rolls. Ooh. Delicious. Spicy, but delicious.
Ah.
And then we have some new cheesecake dessert fried. And
Wait, fried cheesecake?
Yes, egg roll.
Fried, oh.
Yeah, it's
a fried
delicious.
cheesecake egg roll.
Yeah.
Alex!
So we have that, and then we also have catering jobs starting up. So if you have a wedding, an anniversary, a party, a get-together, anything, employee incentives, whatever you want to do, we could cook 20 sacks if you wanted to.
Wow.
At your place, on your location, we could ball some crawfish.
So if someone wanted to give Carter Semino a surprise party for his birthday, they could call you.
Perfect, yes.
Wow, Alex. There you
Yes.
go, Carter. This could be a lot of fun.
Yes.
So
we're also going to be in the Cajun Heartland State Fair at the end of May, beginning of June for 2 weeks. They're actually going to do the state fair, and we're going to be the official crawfish vendors over there at the Cajun Dome.
Now, where can we find you online?
online, you can do Facebook, Instagram. We have a website. Anywhere you go, you could find us.
Crazy about crawfish. Look, I'm insane about it here. Great crawfish, great dessert. Happy birthday, Carter. We're going back to you for more News 15 today with Alex. Happy birthday.
Oh, well, thank you, Al. Although you did ruin the surprise about the birthday party that Alex was clearly planning for me at Crazy About Crawfish.
Oh boy, this is.
Anyway,
I always get myself into such a. Anywho,
sunshine looks to return to the forecast. I'll save you, Alex. But for how long? Storm Track 15 meteorologist Adam Olivier will let you know if you'll need umbrellas for the weekend next. Stay with us, 8:40 on your Friday morning. What?
Because Jace used to do that, because his mom, they never had like.
Always tracking, always alerting. Here's your Storm Track 15 weather.
Guys, did you know that I'm kind of a big deal? I have a sign that says it and everything. Look, Carter Semino, I'm kind of a big deal.
Okay, wait. Pull up.
There's so many
Thank you for the
that-
3 boxing, because since it's Carter's birthday, we're having Roast Carter Day right now. So
yeah.
please send us your best roast of Carter Semino.
So a viewer once sent in a Facebook message calling me Mr. Scratches.
Scratches?
I don't know.
Scruffy or something.
Mr. Scruffs, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and
Whisker
I
Whiskers,
swear I
that's
did
what
not
it
even
was.
tell that viewer to send that in. Back when I was.
Alex just going to give me a look like you do look like you need one.
Well, I hope we get more of those today, and if we do, we will certainly share those with you. But first, we got to talk about weather. I-10 Ambassador, we are seeing some pretty conditions out there. A pretty nice day overall to start off. Sunshine returning to the forecast finally, but it's not going to be sticking around as we start to see clouds building in later on today. Now, we are going to have a couple of hours here through the morning time where we actually do see some of that sunshine out there, but in the afternoon, you can kind of see it building back down to the south. Morgan City, you never got clear of those clouds. It looks like those are going to start working their way back northward and leading to kind of a not so pretty day later on, although we'll still see some sunshine out there. Our Futurecast shows that cloud deck moving northward. By midday, it should be in most of the area. I'd say 80% of us seeing a lot of clouds, maybe up to Ville Platte, over to Jennings, that type of region, that northwest region, seeing some of that clearing conditions still around. Now, this Futurecast model does have some green showing up here, but I don't want you to worry. That's not rain. That's just moisture returned on the model. And what that indicates is this afternoon it's going to feel more humid than it does right now, leading us to see more of those warm temperatures and feeling more like late springtime. 79 degrees for a high temperature as the clouds move back on in. I still think we see some sunshine later on. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Those clouds will linger, and some coastal fog is possible. Let's take a look at your weekend, though. Saturday, A+. No weather issues to tell you about. A little warm in the afternoon, some clouds still hanging around, but hey, not bad. Sunday, different story. We're looking at showers beginning in the morning time. Thunderstorms by the afternoon as those temperatures sit in the 70s. And then we turn our attention to Monday's forecast, where I think we'll still see some rain left over. Question is how much and how long does it linger? Definitely stay tuned for that.
Never forget that I'm kind of a big deal.
You're not a big deal.
This
is my time,
You know
Carter.
what's great, Adam? He knew better than to ever bring that here until today. He's had it since Christmas, and he knew.
Yes.
I cannot bring this.
Okay, well, enough jokes. Let's get into some more serious news. And it's still in the weather world. Tornadoes, unfortunately, they killed at least 5 people in Alabama and left a trail of destruction across the state. We know what that's like here in Louisiana.
We most certainly do. One of the hardest hit areas is Shelby County, where video shows numerous homes destroyed with roofs torn off and collapsed walls. In this neighborhood near Lake Purdy, debris is scattered across the landscape as some residents pick through what remains of their homes.
The strong storm snapped trees and utility lines, leaving many without electricity as storms continue to move through the area overnight. Well, coming up next, a fitness band used by professional athletes and plenty of CEOs is getting popular with everyday consumers. We'll show you what all the excitement is about. Welcome back. The city of Carencro is looking for the community's input when it comes to transportation. If you'd like for your voice to be heard on this matter, head to the city of Carencro's Facebook page for a link to the Acadiana Planning Commission's long-range plan survey. There will also be a hearing for the plan on Wednesday, March 31st at the Carencro Community Center from 5 p.m. to 7.
In Lafayette, the spring rain barrel sale is happening now. The rain barrels help promote outdoor water conservation and create sustainable stormwater management of the Bayou Vermilion watershed. To buy the rain barrel, head to LafayetteLA.gov. The deadline to purchase is May 9th.
Attention boaters in Lower St. Martin Parish. The St. Martin Parish president is declaring a no-wake zone for the Stevensville-Bell River area. This means that boaters must travel at the slowest speed possible to keep water from being sloshed into yards and homes along the bayou. The no-wake zone will be implemented until further notice.
Well, Southwest is returning to its pre-pandemic boarding policy. The airline confirmed that instead of boarding groups of 10 at a time, it will now be back to boarding passengers in groups of 30.
While it has adjusted its boarding policies, it's still following other pandemic-era practices, such as reminding passengers to social distance when possible and adhering to the federal mask mandate. Well, spring is here, and for many folks, that means getting outside and getting more active, Alex.
Right. There are a number of fitness trackers out there, but there's one that's getting popular with pro athletes and even regular consumers.
Liz McLaughlin shows us what the Whoop is all about.
In a crowded and competitive fitness wearables market, the Whoop band has an enthusiastic following.
We pulled some of the most interesting insights from professional athletes,
garnering buzz through its weekly podcast and notable user base, including NFL star Patrick Mahomes, pro golfer Justin Thomas, and Olympian Kate Courtney.
Whoop is a wearable technology that's designed to change behavior and improve health. It's everything from hardware, so you can see this small sensor on my wrist, to software and analytics.
An accelerometer tracks heart rate and other metrics. But unlike bands from Fitbit, Apple, Amazon, and others, Whoop doesn't count steps, instead logging sleep, recovery, and strain.
Strain is a measurement of cardiovascular load, so we're looking at elevated heart rate for periods of time and calculating strain as a result.
Users get the tracker for free with a monthly subscription of $18 to $30. A bigger long-term cost than competitors, but one that Whoop user and data scientist Jessica Dunn says has been worth it.
It is an eye-opening experience.
Over the past year, she's used analysis reports and daily coaching in the app to make behavioral changes, improve her sleep, and adjust her workouts.
I wake up and this recovery is calculated for me. You know what days you should be pulling back and what days you should be pushing a little bit more.
Pros to everyday consumers, making small changes to optimize performance.
Well, turning to sports news now, it's crunch time for the Raging Cajuns. The Sun Belt Conference play kicks off tonight when they take on Coastal Carolina at home this evening at 6.
They've got to bring the bats, though, to take back their season. They're now 11-10. The players were off Monday and Tuesday, so hopefully a nice little break will help.
Coach Degg says there's been improvement, but still, something is missing with their offense.
Product of some of that is the pitching that we're facing. We're capable of doing some great stuff offensively, but our consistency levels just have not been there, and you've got to be able to string together several at-bats in a row, and haven't seen that yet out of these guys.
The LSU baseball team trying to regroup as well after losing 2 of 3 to Mississippi State. They travel to Knoxville this weekend to play Tennessee.
Coach Paul Maneri reminded his players it's a long season and they can bounce back in their second conference series this year.
Like people say, hitting's definitely contagious. So once somebody starts it, like our term, the vibe train, we all got to get on the train and keep it going. You don't want to be that guy to not get the hit and shut everybody down. You just want to keep it going.
Well, now to football. The Raging Cajuns finished as the best team in the state last year, 15th actually in the final Associated Press poll. And not only best in Louisiana, the Cajuns were actually better than perennial powerhouses Miami, USC, and Texas. But no complacency here. They're trying to build on that.
Players say when they feel like taking it easy, they remind each other to remember what it felt like to lose to Coastal Carolina last year.
I mean, I don't think any of us have said that. You know, we're proud of what we did, extremely proud of what we did. But you know, I mean, we gotta take care of what's in our house, and we've got plenty of things to continue to improve on and get better at.
A lot of people say Sunbelt.
Ed Ogeron grew up in Louisiana, so he understands the expectations at LSU. It's win or you probably won't last long.
Yeah, and since LSU fans are making it known that 5-5 isn't acceptable, LSU players are hungry to turn things around.
Coach Ogeron says the team is more united already this season, but he learned his lesson last year not to speak too soon. His players say they're doing what they can to get back on top.
Yeah, it put the chips on our shoulder, you know, coming from 2019 winning national championship and then having a season like we had last year. You know, us as a team, we have more to offer, so we just come in, work hard, do what we got to do to get back what we was.
Coming up next, Adam Olivier has a final track of the forecast, but we're also going to go over some of our top stories this morning as well, so you want to stay with us. Well, some news before you go, reminding you again that you can donate blood here at News 15 today. We're partnering with Our Lady of Lourdes for a mobile blood drive, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Simply visit the website on your screen to make an appointment. Our address is 1500 Eras Landry Road here in Lafayette.
2 people reportedly injured in a shooting in Washington yesterday. St. Landry Parish police responded to the incident on the Veterans Memorial Highway. We'll update you as we receive more information.
The man accused of fatally shooting a Lafayette corporal, Michael Middlebrook, in 2017 is set to return to court for a hearing today after months of delay. Adding to court documents at today's hearing, Ian Howard's lawyers are trying to ensure he's entitled to a non-unanimous jury acquittal with a 10-12 vote, despite a landmark U.S. Supreme Court decision last year outlawing split verdicts.
And one final look at that forecast. We are looking at some clouds out there, warm temperatures and breezy conditions through the rest of today. It is going to be one of those days that, we see some sunshine, but it does kind of become cloudy later on. At least we're staying dry and no rain chances today or tomorrow. They do return as we head into your Sunday, so be prepared for that. Kind of a 50-50 weekend there. Saturday looking a whole lot better than Sunday. If you do have those outdoor plans on Sunday, I would definitely have a plan B just in case, because we will be tracking quite a bit of rain moving through the area as our next system arrives to possibly bring us some cooler weather as we head into next week. But still a lot to figure out on that forecast, which is why you need to stay tuned to News 15 for the latest on all of that information.
Hey, I'll take breezy and warm on today of all days.
Here it comes.
Just to remind you guys that I'm kind of a big deal.
All jokes aside,
just today, though.
Happy
we
birthday,
do love
Carter.
you, Carter, and hope that you have a great birthday weekend, and hope that you make it here on Monday. We
try
will
my
see you
very
all
best.
then, where our coverage continues.
That's right. We'll hopefully be back here bright and early, 5 a.m. to 9 on Monday. Until then, have a great, safe weekend, Acadiana. You're lucky I'm here today.
I'm really shocked.
Ad lib. I really thought about doing it.